So we can jump back in, guys. We're into the next round. So we can quickly see that NiP did pull that round out, I think. Oh my god, that's amazing. This gun's floating in the air.
If you're going to be an invisible man, don't bring a lot of weaponry with you that isn't invisible, because it will give away where you are. You have to be naked if you want to be an invisible man. We've learned that from the movies.
All right, is that... I'm just trying to see which player that was, if that's still going on there. But yeah, we do have the middle take coming in. We got shox close to connector here. 13-7 the score now as we get back into this. Double AWP rolling in. Allu with previously a really good good round here. Starting to step it up for NiP. And they're not too far away from Envy now. Only 6 rounds away. And Envy looking to get this play onto A. They've got a man in the B site though. They've got Happy all the way into B. Forest takes a quick frag onto shox though.
And now he's literally chasing the bomb guy. And he's going to peek him in a second, you ready?
And
let's watch.
And Happy knows that B site is clear, so the bomb wants to go B at this point. But Forest has the angle as well. Look at this. This is an easy kill. Look, he's just waiting. He knows. Forest knows. And here's kioShiMa. That is very interesting.
Yeah, sort of like Alien versus Predator when you play as the alien there, but with a gun hovering above your head.
I can't even switch to kioShiMa here. Only auto director can switch to him.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! What is
he's bunny hopping backwards. It's Quake World. Okay.
This GoTV, the GoTV bugs.
Could we see the gun, please?
The
gun
are real.
Okay, there we go.
Xizt. So Xizt in the 1-on-2 clutch. Incredibly important round here for NiP.
Wow, he's shaking a lot. He must be nervous.
We've got Happy behind the pillar here, and he's good crossfire, but this shouldn't be winnable. He's able to pick off kioShiMa.
You didn't even know there was anyone there, did you?
I'm happy he's going to be taken out by the deagle.
And
Xizt does have time for the defuse. He's got the kit, and that was an amazing clutch.
The comeback is on DDK.
It is.
You know what I like to imagine? You know where you put that little thing there where it's like your accomplishment? You can pick your best accomplishment. I like to imagine at the beginning of the game, they've all got like champion ESL 1 cologne. They're like, hey, Allu, put yours on. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. Why haven't you got yours on, Allu?
Oh, that's not nice.
His is like qualified for EMS 1 category.
What is this GoTV, these GoTV errors? Like some of the players just, I don't even know.
The best one was where I think you even said like he's in a 1-on-1 here, and then he like killed a second guy.
It's not invisible
on our screen. What? There's another one. He's appeared out of nowhere.
We're going to restart the game after this round really quickly to fix that. It should fix everything, hopefully.
Well, restart the GoTV, I should point out, not the game itself. You're not just going to be right. 0-0, guys. Knife round again. Do over.
No do-overs here. I'll face it in.
I don't know what this is.
This is just absolutely absurd. NBK going to take down Xizt here, 3-on-3, as they have made their way into the site. Quick tag there. shox receiving critical damage, I believe, from GetRight from this position. And he is able to take down Happy.
GetRight's actually been one of the guys really struggling in this game so far.
Yeah.
shox going for the epic flank here. He can do it. There's still time.
Yeah, this is looking actually quite interesting. The bomb is really open as well, and there's actually 2 flashes here to be used for NiP. Forest looks for the angle.
I mean, the problem here is you don't want to go for this diffuse. You have to push this position up.
And they still expect that there's somebody up on... And they even have T models there. They're terrorist models there. Okay, so we're going to restart this really quick so we can actually fix these. All of a sudden, like, an amazing array of bugs which I've never seen for my life. So what do we have there? We had the Invisible Man. We had the CT models becoming T models.
We had the 1v1 that became a 1v2.
Exactly. We had weird, like...
switching skins.
With dwarf mode.
Sort of
weird
like
backwards mode as well.
Shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting.
Turning into the enemy and then back again.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like it. Also the invisible gun from the POV as well. That's actually, I've seen that one before. That's an old one.
Although interesting piece of trivia for you. In the earliest days of CS, back in like CS 1.3, initially most pro players actually used to use like Quake style with no gun model.
Yeah.
They used to just use the crosshair.
I would prefer to that.
Especially because you didn't need to look at the gun so much to control it, because it was easier to control the spray. But the whole reason why you couldn't is because in CS, when they like formalized configs and you can only change a few settings, that was one of the ones that they got rid of. You weren't allowed to do that anymore.
All right, so what we just missed was a very quick effort there by Envy to get the bomb down. They did get it down, and
hopefully
this is up
to 14 rounds.
Hopefully, all the issues with GoTV are now fixed. Now we've restarted things. So
I mean, the comeback's on at the moment for NiP.
It really is, yeah. And Envy.
And the difference is, okay, remember when Fnatic did that epic comeback to get to overtime? The difference was Fnatic had to make up their rounds on the T side, whereas NiP's on the CT side, and now they're rolling, and now everything's going great. Allu's up to like 21 kills after his really terrible first half, so this is, I mean, I won't say it's going to happen for NiP, but it's doable now. Now we're in the realms of possibility, whereas it was what, 12-3 at the half?
And the quick push in through underpass with the pistols to get that close range on the NiP players. Look at that excellent incendiary there to slow them down. And now they know exactly where they are. Forest comes in for the frags here, gets taken down very low. In fact, fragged there by kioShiMa as Friberg is looking for something. He does hear the step in, going to take down Happy. Gets the kill quite easily. But kioShiMa has his back to Friberg as well. And now shox is alone. He's got an AK, but no Kevlar. So the aim punch is really going to put him at a big disadvantage. shox needs to find the head straight away off these engagements if he wants any chance to save his
The guy
round.
just instantly looked at it through the wall when he heard that step. He was like, hello, what's going on here?
shox is going to jump across into the arms of his enemy, and he does react, but it's way too late. And Get Right gets the kill, and NiP only 4 rounds away now from EnVyUs. And NiP looks terrible on their T-half looks... you don't even need to bear it any mind, any consideration. It just wasn't there.
I mean, just look at the fact that Get Right even now is only on 8 kills, and he had like something like 4 or 5 in the first half. That's because they were never in a situation where they could take over a site, he could do his lurking, he could backstab. He never got to be in the game at all.
And shox is going insanely fast here, literally just going for an Olympic, just pole vaulting through middles to get super fast to the connector area. His teammates have joined him now, so they have control this spot, but Forest on the angle there towards short, able to pick off kioShiMa. And allu caught with nades in his hand, but able to pull out the AWP. How does he get that kill? And the next one with the AWP as well. So allu rolling on some luck here as well. That's excellent play from him, and he's going to be surviving here with 13 health. There's 2 players left alive, Happy and NBK. And this is going to take an extraordinary series of risky plays and excellent executions to bring this back into the favor of the French side. You can see Happy now smoked off. And the money here is they're completely broke. NiP are putting them into a really poor position economically should they win this, and they will. Xizt and Forest picking up the kills. And Xizt is rolling with an auto sniper, and allu and Forest have AWPs themselves as well. So there's 3 snipers here for NiP, and Envy are going to go for another save. Now, how do they play this? So they go for a fast B here. Are they going to chuck in some nades? 1 smoke from NBK. So I would imagine they're looking at a fast plant here.
Remember, EnVyUs only has 1 round. No, I think they have 2 rounds on this half entirely. And one of them was the godlike shox pistol round, remember?
Yeah.
Which isn't something you can replicate again. You're not in that type of a scenario even.
NiP with an amazing comeback following, or all starting off of their pistol armor scout buy, and showing Envy that they're not the only ones that can do that. They have good positions here, but wow, Happy just popping, Get Right in the face, gets too close to comfort there, as NiP have lost 2 members already. Is just 1 rifler left, Friberg on the bomb site. Take down shox, and there's 2 more players left.
He knows they're here.
And it's all about the timing. Look at it. Perfect. Perfect team play there from EnVyUs. The timing was so damn
NBK
strong.
can't get to a gun, though.
But it's okay. He's got the PC-50.
Stuck on a pistol here.
He's got good range to play from, although he's actually has moved further back here to the jump boxes. But he should still be... Yeah, now he's within the range, and they do get flash. He jumps straight over the top there, picks up the first kill, goes for the second. Oh, no bullets left.
No, but
Reload comes in.
Means that he can do this.
And Xizt coming in now.
Theory doesn't even have to show.
kioShiMa versus Xizt.
But it is. Oh, there we go. He took him off the bomb. Just keep toying with him.
15 to 11, EnVyUs.
That could be the round right there.
It's actually kind of ridiculous when you consider the amount of rounds that NiP held, only to have trouble with, once again, with the pistols of
Well,
EnVyUs.
NBK's play was really ballsy there to jump over. Because even if he had died immediately, he might have bought just enough time for the other guy, kioShiMa, to just play around the boxes a bit. Whereas if he leaves kioShiMa's own, say kioShiMa peeks and gets instantly shot, now NBK is like 20 meters from a gun, there's going to be 2 people with rifles coming over there, it would have been very, very difficult.
And that's a really nice entry kill there from kioShiMa on connector. That's definitely going to force some rotations here. We can see Forest trying to move up short a little bit, and again, Forest. Sorry, I get right. And Forest gets taken down by shox over towards the B side of the map here, and so big openings now. And NiP in desperate situation. Now Happy picks off allu. NBK takes down Xizt. It's all on Get Right now, and it looks like he will get eliminated as well. Clean round there, and EnVyUs able to take that. It was their choice, Mirage, and you can see. I guess you can see why they had some strong showings there. NiP seemed to struggle a lot more than they did, but that comeback, you got to give them the respect that they deserve to actually hold on in that fashion. So, any closing thoughts about that match? Anything that's really stood out to you? Because I'm actually, out of all the matches tonight, I'm struggling to think of what stood out to me most in this match.
I feel like in that match, actually, the scoreline looks closer than I actually felt like it was. It felt like EnVyUs outclassed them a bit on their CT side, and they were just so far ahead. And then the way they got that pistol round as well, it kind of felt like they knew they were going to win, even though NiP started to climb back in on the easier side, playing the default spots, etc. Just good individual play. allu going crazy, Forest getting some nice kills, but just too much from the EnVyUs guys. Really nice aim from shox at times. NBK had a great CT half. I think overall, yeah, they were just the better team today. I think they might have been the best team we watched all night, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with individual skill. I would have really loved to see them play Fnatic, but we can't have everything.
Can't have everything.
We will have that eventually. So remember to follow the channel, and so you don't miss out on that. We have stacked nights like we had tonight. Every time we're doing the European FACEIT League, so it's always going to be 4 really incredible best of ones as we do the home and away map system. So follow the channel. For NK, we'll go for the Dragon Lore attempts and all the awesome giveaways. We're going to take a quick look at how the standings are now to see how the league is developing. It's still very early stages at this point, but we can see that Fnatic, NiP right at the top there. However, NiP 2 losses shown there, and Fnatic so far not to clock a loss. EnVyUs not looking super hot with 2 losses themselves. So at the moment,
TSM 0 wins. Usually they're considered like a very strong online team.
It's definitely looking at the moment pretty wide open. I mean, okay, so top 5 teams go through.
Okay.
It's very, very early days, but I feel like as compared to the last FACEIT League, this really is the tightest field. Like it's the hardest to predict who's going to go through with top 5. So who do you see being the 3 teams that will get relegated?
3 teams get relegated?
Sorry,
just don't make the playoffs.
Don't make the playoffs. Sorry, yeah.
I mean, the way it's going right now, yeah, TSM looks like it's going to be very difficult. Even though they've got a great team, I mean, they're already 0-3 for their first 3. LGB, I have to say as well, just because of the quality of the field, I feel like they won't make it. And then the last one's really a toss-up because I think it's really between. I actually think Titan will make it. Just thinking of, because they actually have a pretty good matchup when they play against teams like Fnatic, when they play against NiP, so I think they can get some upsets there. I think the last team that won't make it, I think is between Virtus.pro and Na'Vi. So I'm thinking maybe Na'Vi, just because Na'Vi's a team, we haven't seen them at any LANs recently. We've heard stories that maybe there's some unrest within the camp and whatnot, so I think I'll go with Na'Vi as the 3rd team not to make it.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, anything that surprises you? Are there any teams at the moment which you expect to essentially do better at some of these events that are coming up? Because there's loads of LANs coming up.
Yeah,
okay, so we have the teams which we know very much about. So we have Fnatic, we have EnVyUs, we have NiP and so on. Although actually NiP firstly, do you feel like NiP now? How do you feel their situation is? Because they have this thing where they have a 5th. Is it allu? Is it Delpan? Is it Michael? Who's actually playing for them? What is the situation like?
From
for them?
seeing the games that they played with these stand-ins, when they had Delpan, they actually won a bunch of games. He seemed to have almost no impact. He just played okay.
Yeah. So
he wasn't bad. He was just okay. They didn't need to do anything crazy. When they've used allu, what's weird is allu's had really good halves, but I'm not sure it's always had that much actual game impact. Like he's gotten the kills, but has it worked within the context of the team and what they're doing? I'm not really sure. I actually still think of the 3, Michael played by far the best in terms of within the team. Like when he would get big kills and big halves, it would win them a game. And so to me, I actually feel like if they go without Michael to the major, which is looking like at the moment, maybe that's actually going to be a worse result for them overall. The team that I think has the most upside at the moment is actually Titan, because it feels like event on event they're getting better, and part of that could be RPK's just coming back to playing in the game again. they have one of the better T sides out of the teams, and KennyS is playing like the best Counter-Strike of anyone in the whole world right now. So I think for me, Titan's the team that have the potential to jump up a few spots. Now, are they going to win a big major event? Probably not, because the level of teams you have to go through, probably Envy, probably Fnatic, but they're the team where they could shock and make like the final, or they could make like a really strong semi-final push. I think they're the biggest X factor for me at the moment.
So okay, so if we're putting the focus on Titan here, which is very interesting. Where do you see them falling down? Where do you see the weaknesses are? Where do you see it going wrong for them potentially to actually not?
I mean, we've already seen the weakness. When you have one godlike player like KennyS, you could just say, right, well, it's KennyS, he has to do amazing things. No, we've already seen they can lose games when he's doing amazing things. They barely beat that Peter team who Russian nobodies in the offline qualifier, yet he had dropped like 55 frags just to win the game in overtime. Then in the final against Fnatic, he gets 50 kills with like an insane plus-minus. They lose the game. So I actually feel like KennyS at the moment, he's playing some of the best CS score I've ever seen. So I'm not worried about his level. My question actually in their team is Apex. Now, I feel like Apex, he's the guy where when KennyS has the godlike games and they've lost, it's Apex who usually dropped off and wasn't able to get his level because he has a lot of pressure on him. Yeah, KennyS has to carry. That's just to give them a chance. But Apex has to be a really strong sort of second star. There's no distribution of the skills in that team. It's not like NiP where they have a whole bunch of people who can do different things, or they just have a lot of people in different roles. It's not like Envy where they have a luxury as to who's going to be so good. Fnatic have like 3 of the best players in the world. I feel like for Titan, it has to be Apex and KennyS really lead the way for them to have a chance of this big run. So
actually, it's an interesting point because when I look at teams like EnVyUs and Fnatic, like Fnatic is almost predicated on the fact that JW's style works. His aggressive style works because he's able to have the freedom. Because if he dies, especially on CT halves, you've got 4 really solid players to actually actually still make the round really winnable for you. And the same as you said with NiP, you still have like so much versatility. If you know, so you know, my player does something similar to JW, and I actually contrast the 2 players quite similarly as well. Then the same principle applies. EnVyUs, you have a team where if shox goes for an entry or kioShiMa goes for an entry, there's still shox behind him. Like the pressure is distributed in a way that I feel like the players can actually all perform. But because I know from playing in teams previously, as a player, pressure can actually negatively affect you if you feel like you're bringing your team down. And so I feel like those teams I just mentioned, none of the teams will always feel like I can play my best game, I can play my most fluid and get in the flow state quite easily because I don't have as much. I know that if I miss that frag, that's not going to cost my team the round or the game. And do you think that is one of the biggest problems for Titan? Because we've seen Existence's performance called into question. We've seen Maniac's performances called into question.
Those are the
Apex
2.
Doesn't frag, so there's lots of pressure there. It's completely different. For
Apex is the big outlier. Like he's the one who can be the biggest plus or minus for the team because we know what Kenny's going to provide. The big problem is if Apex doesn't do it, then there's no one else who can step in there. Like at the moment, RPK is not at that level. He's just an okay player, fairly consistent, but Existence and Maniac seem to almost take turns of doing really badly. Put it this way, if you're thinking of teams that'll get to the semi-final of a major, there's nobody on any of the other teams that could get to a semi-final who's likely to play as bad as either Existence or Maniac has, like, alternatingly in the last tournament. So that takes even more from KennyS. And at the moment, yeah, he's doing it. He's playing like 1.5 times any other player, but first of all, you can't rely on someone to do that every time, and then it puts a lot on your fragging aspect. If you want to give like a sports analogy, this is like a team that only has like 1 goal scorer. And so if they're not amazing defensively, then the guy has to score the goals, otherwise we can't win the game, you know. Whereas other teams, they might not have as good a goal scorer, but they have a whole bunch of people, or they have a bunch of attacking midfielders who can also make plays. And so they have a lot more options as to what they can do there, and it's not as much pressure on any one person.
Okay, so another. I mean, I could probably actually just talk forever, but so I'll rest on this last question. So to kind of build on what we're talking about here, to expand on the essentially the inconsistencies of, let's say, Apex, Maniac, some of these players' existence as well, because we know that they can be a great team if they're all playing to their potential. What we've seen in games.
What we saw today, I'll put it like this. Okay. What we saw from LGB, where they had all the right rounds and they made the right reads and they even had a good approach, but sometimes it didn't work. That's what can happen to Titan, even though they've got the best player in the world. Because they have some good strats and they have some great reads. And actually what makes them have a chance against a team like Fnatic is that Existence historically has a really good read on Pronax's style. Difference is, Pronax doesn't just have one big weapon. He has like a sword here, like shurikens over here. He has like a nunchucks behind him, and he can just go with whatever he ticks, you know. So he's got a lot more chances to win the match. Okay,
so the question would be, from a player's perspective, from you know all the sports you looked at and all this kind of stuff, the whole consistency thing. like obviously some players are just much better at managing consistency, and obviously it's like a lot of things that factor into being a consistent player. So obviously that's the dilemma for Titan right now with those players that are going up and down. So how would you approach it from their perspective? What do you think is missing, or what do you think is the answer if...
See, it sounds like you're expecting me to give like some kind of psychological answer here.
Well, the thing is that I know that there's like no real answer to this.
No, I know what the answer is.
I'm curious to like hear your thoughts about.
It's not actually really inconsistency when Maniac doesn't do well against an he's just not as good as them. Okay, so and it's been proven. Okay, and he's consistently shown it. Now he doesn't necessarily have to be as good, because remember the old team they had, Kaylee was doing very well, and then Kaylee and Apex could kind of take turns being the second best player in the team, and Kenny was the main force, but they had other players. They had more options there. So for me, either Apex has to be a consistent, really good second star, or RPK has to develop more. Because at the moment, your only choice is either kick Maniac out, which isn't necessarily the right route, but you can't just say like he's inconsistent and therefore hope that he'll raise his level. Because I think actually we kind of know what we're going to get from him. There's not going to be any drastic development. So I don't think it's that he can't work in the team, but his existence... not to use a pun at all, him existing in that form in the team puts a lot more pressure just naturally on the other players, and they have to be better in their roles.
So I guess so you're saying essentially it would be probably more consistency would probably be found if they were to fine tune their understanding of the limitations of their own roles, and
they shouldn't be as much
step outside of their roles too much.
They shouldn't be asking that much of him.
Okay, yeah.
He's not a player that's going to do that, and he shouldn't have to in a team where you could ideally pick the players you want to go around these other players. You know, he could work in a team. We saw we won DreamHack Stockholm. They went to the final of IOS Panamera. He can work within the lineup. I think a lot of the top players can work in the team. It's what mixture you have, and then how you weight out the who's the focal point of the team, who has what positions on the map. This is more the issue to me, especially since, as far as I can tell, there isn't an option as to can we just remove him and put someone else in, because they probably would have looked into it if there was.
Yeah, well, I guess that's all I'm going to ask for now. I'm sure we'll probably have you back at some point and
if the money's right.
All right, I can give you this.
I mean, I love the game and esports, and I want it to grow bigger, and yeah.
Do you want this like little keyring thing? It's like a key. It's a mechanical key.
Okay.
So there's no purpose other than being a mechanical key.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. This has been the European FACEIT League. Remember to hit the follow button. We are going live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. SLTV Star Series matches. We've got more FACEIT League matches for all the regions. North America. We've got Oceania. We did that earlier today, the first broadcast for that. And of course, Europe. So much action to be had. And you can go to league.faceit.com as well to get more information on that. Of course, still running the charity donations. So check that out as well. It's going to be justgiving.com/FACEIT. And well, that's all from me and Thorian. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you for joining me. And good evening, guys. We'll see you later.